Hey guys, it's Sebastian from AskSebby, and today we are going to talk about changes to the American Express travel incidental credit and also what works as of July of 2019. Before I dive into all of this, as well as some of the history behind this, if you are someone that wants to support our channel, a very easy way to do that would be to give this video a thumbs up. Lets me know that you like content like this. Jumping back into time, we have 2017, where Alaska as well as United had a bunch of things no longer trigger the credits. For Alaska, gift certificates, pretty much gift cards, used to trigger it, but that's no longer the case. Jumping to 2019, we have American Airlines, Delta, as well as Southwest, gift cards no longer triggering the credits. When I talk about these travel incidental credits, I'm talking about the ones for the gold card, platinum cards, all the variations that we have, so the Schwab, Morgan Stanley, all of the other ones that we've talked about in that version video, as well as the Hilton Aspire card, and also the American Express Platinum Business Card. Being able to use the credit ends up being pretty important because it lowers the effective annual fee to make it a bit more reasonable. I think for a lot of people who travel, you have to be able to figure out how to use the credit, otherwise it's just hard to justify the card. On a side note, a few people have asked me whether the Gold, Platinum, and Aspire card is still worth keeping. Gold card is pretty much a math question, so whether you spend enough money on grocery stores as well as for US restaurants or restaurants nowadays. For the Platinum card, it really depends on how you value those other perks, so how often you go to the Sky Club or to the Centurion Lounge. For the Aspire card, pretty much depends on how you value Diamond status as well as that weekend nights. For the Hilton Aspire card, even if they got rid of all of these credits, so the $250 Hilton Resort credit and the $250 Travel Incidental credit, I think it's still a no-brainer card to me because you're getting so much value. Maybe you don't, and really depends on you. So for you, it might not make sense, but I would happily pay $500 just for that weekend night and Diamond status. If you're someone going to Bora Bora, the Maldives, any of these other YOLO places, having that card and those weekend nights end up being critical to your strategy. The main reason is because without nights like this, you're going to be paying $2,000 out of pocket per night. And even if you use points, you're going to run out of points at some point. Having this one night means that you can tap on another night. That weekend night for a place like the Waldorf Astoria Maldives is effectively worth 120,000 Hilton points. Diamond status for free breakfast. I'm really confused sometimes when people don't see the value in that card when a lot of other people would happily pay $1,000 for Diamond status. And if you look at the opportunity cost and what it would otherwise cost you to get that status, whether you're doing mattress runs or spending $60,000 on the Surpass card, it just makes a lot of sense. A quick reminder before we dive into what works is that there are links down below in the description box as well as on our website if you do want to support our channel. Pretty easy way to do that. A lot of these things that work are going to be based off data points that are publicly available on Flyer Talk as well as on places such as Dan's Deals. Both of those places have substantially more traffic than even my YouTube channel. So Flyer Talk, for example, gets almost 5 million views per month. Same thing with Dan's Deals, who's a pretty big blogger in the space. We're going to go down the list alphabetically of what works, but if you do want a quick summary or if you want to see the citations of the public sources, feel free to go to the blog post down below and you're going to be able to quickly scan everything. Starting off of Alaska, we have low-cost fares triggering the credits. There's a bunch of data points for this, but the idea is that if you have a short-haul fare for less than $100, then it seems to work. So if I'm flying from San Francisco to Los Angeles, that's typically about $50, $60. That's going to trigger the credit. And then if you want to do round trip, just book 2 separate tickets instead of booking a round trip one. For American Airlines, Null wrote a very good summary of what works and what doesn't work, collecting a lot of data points. So Elite 500 mile stickers, these are basically upgrade certificates, ends up triggering the credit in most cases. Seat selection works, mileage multiplier works. One thing you'll notice is that there are some data points of it not working, and that's a pretty key thing that even though it might work for other people, I might say that there's a bunch of data points that it works, it might not work for you. With this and most other things in this hobby, your mileage may vary. One other thing too is that even if you do this, you might need to wait a few weeks. A lot of people tell me that they did something earlier today or yesterday and it didn't trigger the credit, and oftentimes it does take a bit of time. If after 2 to 4 weeks it doesn't work, then I guess you're out of luck, and then you can try it again on your next flight that you're taking. Seat selection seems to work, mileage multiplier seems to work. Mileage multiplier typically doesn't make sense though, so something to be aware of there. Admiral Club's membership as well as Admiral Club passes seem to work, as well as the food and drink inside the lounge. A bunch that seems to not work, so baggage, award cancellation fees, close-in ticket fees, and change fees. A few that have a bunch of mixed different data points are going to be award taxes and fees, upgrades, and elite challenges. If you're someone that travels, you're probably going to be able to trigger these credits through your normal usage. Moving on to Delta, award ticket fees seems to work pretty well. So when you end up using your points, you typically have taxes and fees, so using your card in those instances. We've talked about a bunch of Delta flash sales, and even for a lot of the cheaper ones, you're looking at about $50 in fees per person. One that I don't think works, but someone swears works, is gift cards at the Delta Sky Club. So I saw someone buying a gift card at the LAX one saying that it triggers their credit. I haven't seen any data points on this, but you might want to be the data point that you want to see. On the same note, again, if you're not sure, oftentimes you can be the data points. The no-brainer one for Delta right now is going to be additional collection, which means that you're paying a portion using a gift card that you bought somewhere else, and then using your credit card for the remainder. So for example, if you have a $200 ticket, using a $50 gift card that you bought elsewhere, and then using your card for the remaining $150. On something like the gold card that has a $100 credit, it should trigger that $100 credit. On something like the platinum card, you're triggering $150 of the $200. There's a bunch of different data points on this on Flyer Talk if you aren't really sure, and again, worst case, you're booking a flight that you were otherwise booking anyways. For me personally, when I did this, it changed what the circle was, so saying that I used a credit, but I haven't seen anything post on the statement side yet. Looking at a lot of data points, it typically does take 1 or 2 days though, so I'm not too worried about it. If you didn't like this video already, feel free to give this a like. Again, supports the channel. For Frontier, the forum for it is pretty dead, so there's not really that many data points. Moving on to Hawaiian, seat upgrades for extra comforts, as well as sub $50 fees do seem to trigger it. With a lot of other ones, it needs to be only less than $100, and here it seems like $50 is going to be that wall. Moving on to JetBlue, we have sub $100 fees working, triggering the credits, pet fees triggering the credits, as well as even more space fees for seats triggering the credits. For Spirits, the forum is pretty dead, but you see big front seat triggering the credits. This was back in 2018 though, so that might not be the case anymore. For Southwest, fees on award tickets, early bird, as well as sub $100 tickets seem to trigger it. Again, easy example is short haul flights, so if you're flying from Houston to Dallas or from LAX to San Francisco. For United, sub $100 fees as well as charges seem to trigger it as well. In honesty, I was a bit hesitant to talk about this, but there are a bunch of other blogs talking about it at this point, and a lot of them are bigger than me. On that note, if you are someone who wants to learn more about these credit cards and you want to support our channel, a very easy way to do that would be to use the links that are on our website, as well as down below in the description box. Hopefully that was helpful, and my question for you guys is, which of these airlines would you pick for your travel credits? Let me know down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, it really helps us out. If you know anyone else who'd benefit from what we just talked about, feel free to share the video with them, because it's probably going to help them out. But otherwise, hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time.